Hi, everybody. Grady Polcyn. Welcome to the America Agency. Ooh. All right. Just drop a hi in the chat below. Let me know that you're on. Doing the call a little bit different today, and I'm super excited that you're on here with me. I'm excited that you've taken some time out of your day to want to get better. You know, for me and for Natasha and Jade, our obsession is this business, and our desire to get better comes with a desire to be better for you guys. And that's a cool place to be in a business where you can choose to improve or you can choose to be mediocre and complacent. And we're a group of people that do not choose mediocrity and complacence, and have just a burning desire to improve. And that's a cool philosophy. So today's goal of a call was twofold, and I'll be totally transparent with you. One was to answer some questions, because there's so many agents. I do so many different calls throughout the week, not because I'm a big deal or important. I take the trash out and do the dishes and pick up dog shit just like everybody else, but because we've gotten to a level in a business where we have some insight and we can share with people. So onefold to give you guys some insight to questions that you may be struggling with, some challenges you may be having, and putting you in a position where you can ask someone that's seen a lot. Have I seen it all? No. Do I have the best answer? Maybe, maybe not, but I have an answer that I think that I'm confident to share with you. So that's really the goal. Live resource desk, live help desk. That's the point of today's call. So as we finish our updates, I have 15 questions, 16 questions here. If you drop some questions in the chat, we'll highlight those. And obviously when Jackson edits this, we'll put it real nice on the screen. But I'd love to anything you're going through in the business, from structure and sales to recruiting to whatever. I've seen it all. I've sold millions of dollars in life insurance. I have thousands of clients. I got thousands of agents. I've seen a lot. And, you know, maybe that's like, I don't need to know about thousands, Grady. I need to know about one. And I'm here to help you too. So wherever you are, I'm here to kind of guide you and be sort of a live Q&A type resource desk type call. And then twofold, to be totally transparent, we're going to chop this up into YouTube videos to create content. So I see Lonnie's on. Hello. And that was odd, but hello. And at the same time, we'd love to be able to increase our marketing efforts, which is just create, if I can answer these questions well, we'll turn it into some recruiting, and maybe some people will reach out to you because you're a new agent and whatnot. So that's just kind of the open and let you know what we're doing today. But at the same time, my only goal is to leave here in an hour with a bunch of questions answered for people that have questions and want some clarity on what they could do. Because that's oftentimes what it is. I wish someone would just give me a straight answer. Today's a straight answer day. So we'll jump into some updates real quick and some news. And then by all means, as we get to the back half of these, you can start dropping any questions in there. And if there aren't any, that's okay. I got a ton right here. So I got a bunch to go through. So if you just want to hear me rip through the other questions we've got, that's fine too. But for all intents and purposes, my goal is to serve you guys for the next hour in any way or form of shapes that I can. Any shape or form or shapes that I can. Natasha is so focused over there. She's not even chuckling at my silly jokes right now. There we go. I got a giggle. Okay, let's jump into it. First things first, very excited about our company overview. I think we've broken 30,000 views, which is humbling and incredible to see. And the conversations I had just this morning about the level of caliber and quality of people who have gigantic businesses in other industries, looking at life insurance as the place where they realize they need to now have a flag planted. Maybe they don't want to sell their other businesses or completely walk away with what they're doing. But today, life insurance has become a critical part for people who would like to build a sales organization, build a team, create long-term stable residual income. And our company overview video does an incredible job of telling the FFL story very well, humbly. Did a great job. We put nearly a year into production, 6 months into the PowerPoint, months into editing and writing, and we're very, very proud of it. So to see the response it's getting with 30,000 views so far in less than a month from launch, we're blown away and humbled. If you're looking to grow your business, if you're looking to grow a team, if you're looking to share this business with other people, This video on our YouTube channel does an exceptional job. And I'll dig into some recruiting and training tips as we get later in this call, but let's have a conversation about how I would best share this and when we get through these updates. But this is a great overview for you guys to use. GetYourInsuranceLicense.com/FFL. Seen hundreds of people going through this at a 90+% pass rate. We love our partnership we've had with Excel for years, and we still have it. If you need a free option, if money is tight and capital is low when you're getting started in your business, I totally get that. But if you're someone that struggles testing, needs a little bit additional support, you have to pass first time, or you have agents that have that same philosophy. This is a great tool to plug people into from day one. It's normally $199. We got a discounted rate due to the grand scale of FFL doing $104 million per month issue paid volume. And they dropped the price from $199 all the way to $39. An incredible service, an incredible tool, and it's one that I now share with all of my new recruits because I need them to pass first try because people need now money. And I can nearly guarantee that if they go through this and do what they share over at GetYourInsuranceLicense.com, they will nearly pass the first try. No guarantees, anything but death and taxes. But the reality, though, is if you got a little bit more support, 40 hours of live access to trainers, you're going to pass. We're seeing pass rates increase. So great tool. Insurance sales guide, 10,000 copies out in production right now. Some things I might call on today on this call, but I'm super excited about our insurance sales guide. Everything from product knowledge to mindset to scripts to, let me start over. Everything, product knowledge, mindset, leads, scripts, presentation, objection handling, referrals, detailed out in writing. People learn multiple different ways, sight, sound, touch, and to have a visual representation of some of our best trainings that we've put together from our top partners, our top leaders, to put together in one place. We give it to you for free. InsuranceSalesGuide.com. Go over there, put your information in, and we will get a copy sent right over to you. Very proud of it and looking forward to seeing who else benefits from it as well. Pick Money, our CEO. Words are, I run out of words talking about Sean sometimes because the thesaurus isn't long enough. I need to get a new language or figure out a way to speak in different tongues because this man has completely changed my life. He has changed so many people's lives. And these are some of his best ideas, thoughts, and principles all drilled down into one thing. Go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere books are sold. Pick Money by Sean Mike, our CEO. I highly recommend it. I couldn't put it down, and it's a fantastic read and storytelling. If you've had a chance to spend any time with Sean, this is written like you're talking to Sean, which is what you would want: straightforward, fearless knowledge and information. So grab a copy today, put yourself in a position where you're not only just feeding your brain with insurance, sales, tips, tactics, word tracks, etc., but you're feeding it from a grander scale from someone who has made it happen at the highest level. Love this. This is a new partnership revisited. We had a partnership with a company called Start Virtual. This is insuranceva.com, backed by Start Virtual. They have hundreds. They've placed thousands of VAs around the business landscape in the years that they have been in business, and they have carved out a part of their business to support insurance. Now, they support hundreds of people in the real estate world, from all different real estate niches that exist. They've moved into service-based home businesses. They support that model. And they also have a great position in the insurance space where you can get someone to check your back offices for pending and for issues. You can get someone to be a dialer, helping book appointments, put appointments back on the books. You can have someone be following up with your business for pending. And on top of that, for recruiting, sending out DMs and reaching out and outreach. Someone to be the person to make sure that the thank you cards, the brownies, and the flowers get sent out. All important things to make sure that are happening within your business, right? If you're in business, the goal is not just to get in business. Of course, it's to stay in business. And the soonest thing that helped me grow was partnering with finding a good quality staff member to support me. This is a great service to add on to your business at an incredible price. But they manage it all. They've got insurance training. They put your new VA, your new assistant in over 30 hours of training to get them up, running, and rolling. And we got a quick video from the CEO we're going to pull up here and play for you. But this is something I highly recommend people to look into. InsuranceVA.com. Go book a call with them. It's not high pressure. It is like the best pricing. That's one. But overall holistic service for you as the new business owner who needs some support, right? Your number one job and number two job are this: selling insurance, because the highest override you get is on your own pen, And number two is finding agents and teaching them how to sell insurance, because the next highest income is overrides you get from people that you bring into your business. And so to have a support team behind you, this is insuranceva.com, backed by Start Virtual. Book a call with them. I assure you will be impressed. The team over there, they already are running thousands of VAs. They have a building they own in the Philippines, and the pricing is exceptional. So if you need some support, plug into a system and a tool that has your back already. We'll play a quick video here from the CEO and be right back. And we can clip it in together. All right, we're back. Good question for Brody. Check your spam. It sends out immediately. So just it sends instantaneously. So just check your spam, dude, or put a different email in if you've already had it sent a few times. But no, it just might be going to your spam. So we'll get you taken care of. As far as it, I just bought my first leads. I'm now supposed to input it on where? Christina. We'll get to those questions. Let's dig into the questions in a second, but we'll keep rolling through this. But I love that you're engaging and asking questions, Christina. All right, keep rolling. Ignite, 21 days away. How do I say this as important as possible? It is, I said this to an agent the other day, and this is one of my favorite lines, and maybe my next tattoo, but anything easy is not worth it, and anything worth it is not easy. If you want massive change, or if you want minimal change, you have to change, right? Right now, as I sit here before you, we had 4,105 people registered for our English component of Ignite. We have 1,050 people registered for our Latino event. That is over 5,000 people registered for this sales conference. And some of you are on this call and watching the replay and thinking, it's not that important. I'll figure it out. Maybe this isn't for me. Oh, it's good for them. They've made a sale already. Money's tight. I got it, dude. I got it. I get all things about financial stress and angst and pain and nervousness and butterflies and hope that this is going to work out and be that thing that you were promised by some guy or gal on the phone while you got into contracting and went off and got your license. But the thing that I will tell you about life, right, that I will help advise you in some capacity, is the understanding that the best place you can guarantee a positive return is investing into yourself. You have to invest into yourself. And whether that is health, right? I used to sell vitamins back in the day, and we would talk about, hey, you pay for your health now or you pay for your health later, right? Pay for your health now by buying supplementation, a good gym membership, time, getting up early and getting a workout in, or you pay for your health later, medications, doctor's appointments, inability to be functional in society late in your 50s and 60s and 70s because you didn't take care of your body, ate like crap, that's a health philosophy, right? But from a business philosophy, investing money, plane flight, hotel room, or you drive and you share a hotel room, you share, accommodations with someone on your team or your upline. That is where, how impactful will those words become 9:01 on Thursday? If you've pushed yourself out of your comfort zone and been there and sit there to get the information. And I assure you, with every fiber of my being, this is not a rah-rah, walk on hot coals, hoorah, pound chest type training. We have 166 people who make over $300,000 per year and up, sharing their best tips, word tracks, mindset, scripts, referrals, objections, lead types, recruiting tactics, getting new agents fast started. Like the best of the best of the best will be shared on this stage in Florida. And there's some of you that think, it's cool for them, or maybe, or not yet, not for me. And I challenge you to break free from that philosophy, to let that thought process go, because the thought process you have that got you here in a financial state that you can't afford a plane flight and a hotel room in Florida is the philosophy that will keep you from being able to ever, at a moment's notice, afford a plane flight and a hotel room in Florida. And so I challenge that philosophy, and I just cheer you on for the change that you have coming across, because this event will not disappoint. We've got a meet and greet the night before. We have a full day of training followed by a 3-hour action-packed Latino training. So if you speak Spanish, you got 12 hours of training coming your way. And I just know that the people that get there come out different. They come out changed. They come out inspired. They come out with new direction and new insight. And that's what my hope is for you as a new agent, is someone who makes that decision to choose improvement, choose change, choose the path that is scary to you, but one that deep down inside you know is something you should be at. So I hope that you choose that. And I always close with this line: there is no guarantee that attending Ignite you will become successful. But I guarantee you that every successful person at FFL will be at Ignite. The choice is yours. What do we got? Oh, okay. All right. Let's run into some training and then we'll start some questions. So this is a philosophy that I wanted to share with you guys real quick. And especially, as I come back off of, my challenge and rally cry for getting to Ignite. And this is a new concept that has come across the world. It's called the K-shaped economy. And this is an important teaching moment for those of you that are here. I welcome. I'll say I didn't even do my party commercial yet. I'll do my party commercial and then we'll start. Right. Okay. So here's a great line, or this is my favorite line. A party is more fun with more people. Okay. It is. You walk into a party and you're one of the first, second, third ones there at a house you don't know anybody at. A little awkward, a little uncomfortable. Do I want to be here? Right now we got a couple hundred people on here. Can you share this link? Join America Live with a few people in your group chats, your WhatsApps, your Telegrams, your GroupMes, your Discords, anywhere, your Slacks, places where your team congregates and say, hey, Grady's doing a live Q&A. If you have any questions as a new agent, come on, he's answering them live. I'm going to answer questions for the next, 45 minutes and help people get better. If that's something that you feel comfortable sharing, great. If it's something that you don't want to share, then that's okay too. But that's my only commercial. Get this out to other people. If I can help more people, then we're all getting better together. So, okay. So this is I wouldn't say new concept, but this is a concept that is taking the business, climate by storm, and it's called the K-shaped economy. And if we look at the image, it is how the world is pulling apart. Okay. Affluent Americans are getting ahead or going up. They'll be getting more ahead. And low income asset households are falling more and more behind. This is the way the world is going right now. I'm going to read this to you, and then we'll talk about it for a second. We'll jump into some questions. The K-shaped economy describes an economic state where different parts of society or industries move in opposite directions at the same time. When charted, the diverging paths resemble the arms of the letter K. One branch points upward for those who thrive, while the other slants downward for those who struggle. What causes the divide? The upper arm, the thriving. High-income earners, white-collar remote workers, asset owners benefit significantly from rising stock markets, real estate appreciation, and technology or AI-driven sector booms. Their wealth and spending power continue to compound. The lower arm, the struggling. Lower and middle-income households face heavier burdens from persistent inflation, high borrowing costs, and cooling job markets. Their wages often fail to keep pace with the true cost of daily necessities like groceries, gas, and rent. Why does this matter? The bifurcation explains a confusing paradox in macroeconomics. Strong corporate profits and soaring stock indices can coexist alongside widespread consumer anxiety and sluggish hiring because top-tier earners drive the disproportionate share of total consumer spending. Overall economic growth statistics can look healthy even while a large portion of the population feels left behind. Why does this matter? Because as you sit here today, hold the key, the gate code, the skeleton key, if you will, to affluence, to wealth, to generational freedom, to a position where you can create assets and equity for not just your children, but your grandchildren. Because you all with an insurance license are business owners. And being a business owner holds all the stress and all the fear and all the doubt and all the worry and all the glory and all the spoils and all the splendor and all the wealth you could possibly want to create. And so I share this because this is a concept that's being talked about constantly on CNBC and on the news and on Bloomberg, because the world is pulling apart and you can choose which direction you want to go based on your decision to put in effort to get better, your decision to put in effort to increase your knowledge on this business and the way you communicate, your decision on the skill growth you choose to harness within yourself on how good you want to get overcoming objections, getting referrals, keeping business on the books, closing clients, dialing leads, managing all the structural things that come inside of our business. You get to choose. Now, the good news is you're surrounded by a bunch of people on the upswing. The bad news is you're also surrounded by a bunch of people on the downswing. And what matters is, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to is such an integral part in your life. On are you muddling around in the shadows in the text groups of people that aren't making sales, 5, 10,000 a month issue paid, and complaining about leads and thinking about this and complaining about that? Or are you doing everything you can to earn access to the people putting up 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a month issue paid who have made a decision to change their life? That's the difference. And so as I share this quick concept with you, I just want you to understand, like, the world is pulling apart. And you can choose to go on the upswing by creating wealth and making money and protecting families and getting paid and then investing in stocks and buying real estate and putting yourself in a different economic class because of your effort. Or you can choose to just kind of settle in and muddle around with the mass of society and complain about this and talk about that, about how it's not fair. And I bet there's a lot of hard workers headed down that just don't know about that exists, that they could go this direction within our world. So that's what's so possible and improbable for many, but it's possible for you if you choose to get better, grow your knowledge, grow your skills, and go out there and make it happen. One final thing, and then we'll jump into the questions. This is my backyard this morning. So last night in Arizona on August 19th, we had the largest dust storm in the history of the state. And that tree that's laid down across my Chase lounges next to my pool is over 20 feet tall. It has been growing for over 5 years with no issues. And it was the biggest of the 3 trees you see in the picture. And I bring this up because when I went around the tree and I went and looked, it didn't have a lot of roots deep down. It had grown significantly up, but it didn't have a lot of roots. The root ball had been ripped out. And what does that matter? Right? What it matters is, like, us as people, are we digging our knowledge and faith into us and building a skill set to improve? Or are we just kind of, checking it out, coasting, plugging in just a little bit, selling that 5, 10,000 a month, saying I do insurance, but not really committing to get better, saying I'm a salesperson, but not really studying the craft? Like, what are you doing to dig deep roots in not only yourself, but your business? Are you building relationships with your team? Are you spending time with your mentors in any way, shape, or form? What are you doing to solidify the strength of the tree that you're building here? And that's where, like, I walk out and I'm like, this is sad. I call my landscaper. My wife's like, are you going to get that? I'm like, I'm not the tree guy. Like, I can go get a chainsaw and chop this thing up, but I got work to do. And so, like, it breaks my heart that my tree that I've had for, when did I plant it? 2021? 5 years. This thing, I've been trimming it and looking at it and touching it, is now gone. But then I looked and I saw it didn't get a deep root ball to hold it through and weather the storm. And that's what I ask for many of you, is to continue to put yourself in a position where you can weather the storm no matter what comes and what happens. So thank you, Natasha. All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm super excited for today's live resource desk call. If you have things that you have going on in your business, this is the line in the stand. If you asked a question from before, no, let's not go back. I got too many to go through, but just please re-ask your question. If you have a question, I'm going to read it and say your name, and we will chop this into some YouTube content if I do a decent job, but hopefully I can give you some perspective and clarity. So feel free to drop any questions you have about the business, sales, structure, recruiting, whatever. I have a few that I'm going to start with as you start to post some questions, and we'll go from there. So first question was about new agent tips. And I always like to come back to this sort of four-tier philosophy. And I learned this from a legend in the industry. And he's all about, you got to analyze the numbers. And what does that mean? The numbers don't lie. Okay, Grady, I need some coaching on dialing. How many dials you made? 7. Dude, I can't fix you at 7. I need you to go down like 700 so that I can give you some insight. You've got to have some experiences to polish. And so 4 things that I like to have a new agent focus on, or any agent focus on when they're struggling, is dials, contacts, presentations, closes. And I want to talk about this for a second because this is a simple way where you can analyze yourself and in your own business on what you have going on. Dials, contacts, presentations, closes. How many actual dials are you making in a day, right? When I first started this business, the only time you would dial was 7:30 to 12:30 on Saturday mornings. That was it. And you would hammer the phone. 10, 15, 20 appointments you would book in that 4-hour time block for live in-person presentations. I'm driving across the great state of Arizona, meeting people and meeting in their homes. But the best time to dial was 7:30 on Saturday until 12:30 on Saturday. People are home. They're in a good mood. They just got paid on Friday. And now we're focused on moving forward and booking an appointment. Hey, I'm following back up. You're calling them when other people aren't calling. You're calling them when they're in a good mood. Saturday morning, they're not working, etc. Now we live in a world where this virtual transition of sales, of this, virtual sales has transitioned us with the ability to call nearly 16 hours a day because you can work the time zones. You have licenses in multiple states. So you've got to be more discipline than ever before, but tracking your numbers. And when we look at dials, contacts, presentations, closes, how many actual dials are you making a day? Are you using your iPhone? Did you go pick up a free phone from the Verizon for $10? Have you graduated into getting a CRM? Where you're utilizing a CRM to help power dial for you? All things, but all it comes down to is how many outbounds are going. So let's look at this. If we put out 300 dials in a day, now, how many dials are getting contacts? If you're getting 3 contacts out of your batch of leads, either your phone number's burned, you've got a really old batch of leads, or something's wrong. And usually those 2 capacities, right? I'd either get a different number, switch your number, or try a different time of the day, right? Those are some things. Or you have just a batch of leads that is so old, you've called so many times that they've blocked everybody that ever calls them, okay? Now that's if you've got 3 contacts. Now let's say you get 30 contacts. Great, 30 contacts, great, high contact rate. Now from there, how many presentations are we getting? If we're doing 30 contacts and we're getting only 6 presentations or 2 presentations, there's something wrong in your open. You're not taking control. John, it's Grady calling you back, following up with that request you sent in my office about the life insurance. Looks like you put down Mary as your beneficiary. This just came across my desk and it looks like we need to get this resolved because it's been some time since you submitted it, right? Are you taking control? Are you assertive, right? Are you exuding confidence as someone who doesn't sound like a telemarketer, right? Or are you timid and quiet and meek? John, I'm calling you about the life insurance request you wanted to buy, right? Are you awkward? Are you not following a script? So that's a part of it. Now, if you're going contacts to presentations, you're going 30 contacts and 22 presentations, that's a great transition. Your open is good. Now, if you're going presentations to closes, you're having 22 presentations. And then you get to the point where you're having 2 closes. There's something significantly wrong about digging out the why, talking about their beneficiary. What would happen to Mary? God forbid you died yesterday, John. What would she be doing? Letting her roll around and sit in that sadness for a second? You're pushing too fast, trying to get, okay, perfect. The numbers are, 10,000 for 50, 100,000 for 100, or 10,000 for 100 and 15,000 for 150. You're just rushing to kind of get the numbers out because you're chaotic and not taking control, right? The number one thing that we can do as sales professionals and life insurance brokers is care. The care we exude, and we treat these clients like we'd want to be treated. We treat these clients like they're our own parent, is where they go build a wall of trust around you. And then when someone else calls them next week and goes, hey, I'm following back up with that request, they go, no, 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 no. I'm all taken care of. Michael Smith got me. Brody got me. Ramon got me. I'm good. I'm all set. No, 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 no. I'm all set. You can cancel that request over there. Or you rush through it in 22 minutes, gave them some numbers. They said they're going to think about it. You call them back. They block you because someone else called and showed them care. So you got to analyze the numbers, right? So presentations to closes, you're not building enough why. Now, if your presentations are 22 and your closes are 18, just keep going, right? But this is where you can really analyze the numbers. And that's my hope and plea for you as a new agent, is to approach this as a structured business. What gets tracked gets improved. All right. Brody says, what's that leverage point in the sales process? Is it activity or tonality? Leverage point. Maybe I said it a different way, Brody, but what's the leverage point in the sales process? Activity and tonality. I mean, tonality comes as a fact of the more you communicate, right? You want to talk assertive, right? You want to talk direct. You want to talk clean and clear, right? I don't want to sound like, hi, this is Grady. I'm calling you back about the life insurance request you sent into my office. And yeah, I want to, John, this is Grady. I'm following back up about the request you sent in my office. Looks like you live on 123 Mulberry Street. Your phone number is 480-212-1212, and you're 68 years old, right? I just verified 3 pieces of information before I even stated life insurance, told him about his beneficiary, right? I'm 45 seconds on the phone. I sound strong. I'm trying to gain respect over the phone without having to, I'm not trying to hide anything or show my cards. I want him to know that I'm a professional. And I'm coming across as a professional with strength. So yes, great question. Tonality is thing. And then yes, activity. The more times you're strongly communicating with people puts you in a position where you can put yourself, where you separate yourself from the sound of others, right? That's good leadership in itself, right? Good salesperson sounds different than others. Same message, but sounds more mature. Good leadership is you're sharing the same things that other people have shared, but you're saying it differently. So great question, Brody. Any more questions, please drop them in the chat. I got a question from an agent. He goes, where do I find high quality recruits in 2026? So we bounce back and forth between selling and building for this call. But where can I find high quality recruits in 2026? My suggestion is content creation, social media, and warm market. Those are the best places, right? There's still a group of people on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Monster, jobbing.com, of people that are looking for jobs that might just be looking for jobs because they don't know that they could do our business. They don't know about warm buyer leads. They don't know about the no cost to get contract. They don't know about the fact that they could start this thing part-time, working Thursday and Friday night, Saturday and Sunday, and quickly get themselves submitting 2, 3, 4,000, a couple back-to-back weekends, gain the confidence with deposits, and then go into their job on the 3rd Monday that they got started with us and quit their job and put in their 2 weeks and go full time. They don't know. And now that there's always room for sharing, right? I've got infinite patience for a worthwhile prospect. I have infinite passion for someone that wants to change their life. I do. My heart, I only want to help people change for the better, right? But at the same time, I have to optimize my time. And what I found today is that model works, right? You can put a bunch of ads out and run them to our brand new opportunity video, go set them up to calendar calls, and then find out, all right, you want to do this. You've got $500 to $1,000 of leads to invest. It's just a lot of conversations, right? So that is more of kind of like an outbound push market versus like a pattern interrupt market is content creation. Any one of you, as you get started in this business, could do some YouTube video training, some Instagram reels, some TikToks talking about your experience in the life insurance business, our access to warm leads, getting started as a broker. Integrity Connect is a great tool where people can go to and they can plug in their clients' information and quickly get spit out which carriers they qualify for and the price, showing the ease at which that sales process works, which is confidence to a new agent, right? That's what we're trying to do, is give confidence to new agents, our potential agents, and then that they can start to get paid daily, right? That's a great component of it. So that's a content creation. Then social media, outreaching to like-minded people in, different sales verticals, people in different business minds, people that have led teams will look at our model and go, that's something I'd like to be a part of. And then warm market is who do you know in your world, your current world, that's successful, right? Successful people are always looking for more ways to become more successful. It's that, I'll say it again. Successful people are always looking for more ways to become more successful. That's a crucial thing. So don't be intimidated, right? Because you got to remember, the best people are already doing something. They're not just sitting around on Indeed and jobbing.com and Monster waiting for our ad to pop up and they come out, crack off and start writing 300-400 grand a year. It's not common. Now that's an exception. I build my business on rules, not exceptions. A rule is a high quality person can plug in here and do well. I'm not saying a low quality person, which is just someone who makes a below average income, couldn't change their life. I just don't have the resources and time to change every person who could be 20, 30, 40 years old. I can create an environment. They can come on this call. They can watch the 1,100 training videos we've done and start to get inspired and realize there's a better way to think. And then we can have a conversation. But for the most part, the best place to find content creation, so people reach out to you, social media, warm market, and who warm market type people should you be looking for? People with contacts, resources, and credibility. That's who you're looking for. People that have an association of people that like and respect them. Resources, some amount of capital to get started in this business because leads are important, right? We've got to have money for leads. And then credibility, the respect of their peers in social network, if they also wanted to build a team. So I'm not looking for my unemployed brother-in-law who's living on my mother-in-law's couch still, mooching off her and, going out twice a week playing softball and drinking beer in the back porch. That's not my ideal recruit, and it shouldn't be yours. You're too busy trying that you can. Here's the key. You can make far too much money selling life insurance than needing to spend time becoming some sort of messiah or life changer for someone who's chosen not to change their own life. Go change your life first. Then go find other people like the new you and bring them into our world and they'll love it too. Hope that helps. Cool. I'm going to change my shirt because we're doing this for social. So I apologize for the quick outfit change, but if you got some more questions. Brody threw another question here. Brody's taking advantage of all the questions. Natasha kicked it. I appreciate it. Hey, there we go. I can keep talking. Brody's got the questions. You're a great leader. What's the most common mistake you see new agents make during the opener? My issues contacts the Prezi, for example, right now 19 contacts, 2 Prezis. Yesterday, 19 connects, no Prezi, but before 39 connects, 3 Prezis, tips to opener. I like that. All right, we'll go through that, Brody. I'm going to pull that up. Let me put the shirt on. Natasha keeping it classy for me. And if anyone on here, there's hundreds of you on here, it's Brody writing questions. So feel free. All right, I think we're good. Boom. All right, we're back. All right, Brody's got a great question, digging in deeper on our dials, contacts, presentations, closes. And so basically, like, what is the tips to get them to connect? So Brody, what you're going to find is many times in the beginning, you're probably working more of an aged lead, something that might be 60, 90, 120 days old. Now, those are wonderful leads. Why? Because they're still interested people. In our model, in our system, as soon as something is sold and marked sold in any of our CRMs, it's pulled out. So at this point, there's someone who is still interested in buying life insurance. I love that they want to buy life insurance. I want to sell life insurance, not just for the commission, because I want to protect their family. Because I've seen sad times. I've seen people and families run over and having to move into relatives' houses and having people pass and being financially crippled, right? The most noble work we do is showing up on the worst day in a family's life and being the only person that provides something positive of value. And I welcome that. And I'm grateful for that position to be in, right? Okay. Now, how do you go from 19 connects to 2 presentations? So your connection needs to be something along the lines of like, you're trying to take significant control on the call. You're trying to get to a point where like, my office has to resolve this. You're going to keep getting calls until we get this resolved. Just take me off the list. No, John, that's not how it works. We need to figure out, you send a request to our office, it opened up a case file, and it's my job to facilitate what you're eligible for. Okay. And so at that point, you're trying to dig in and go, perfect, John. Now what do you do for work? No, or what happened when you originally submitted this request, right? Is it an IUL lead, a final expense lead, a term lead, a general life lead? And you're trying to dig in to some of those things. You're trying to answer or ask open-ended questions to keep them talking, right? Great line in business or in sales. The one who asks the questions controls the conversation. So if you're talking with an assertive tone, direct, right at him, you're putting yourself in a position where you are you're guiding him, right? If I get a phone call from a doctor's office, from, my CPA, right? I'm going to answer any question they have because they're my doctor and my health is of utmost importance. My CPA handles my taxes and finances, and I want to make sure that's handled accordingly. And if you're their life insurance broker who has an open case file for them, they're going to answer the questions that you ask them. So put yourself in that position where you're trying to ask more questions at the beginning, and that will get you from that context to presentations faster. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm asking more questions and trying to assert myself. I'm not selling. I'm a broker. I'm licensed in 37 states. I've got 19 states, or I've got 19 carriers. I've been doing this for 9 years. I've got millions of, I've got thousands of, I'm not trying to sell him so much. I'm trying to take control and say, I'm the manager. You've opened a case file. You've opened a case file. It's sitting on my desk. I don't even know how it got all the way here, John, but this must be important because things don't come all the way to my desk. But it's talking, like I'm going a little fast right now, but when you're doing this, Brody, I want you to pause more because that silence creates tension. And then it creates like they're leaning in going, well, what's he going to say next? So it takes time to work up to it, but just keep going, bro. So good job. Thank you for sharing. All right. Good. Okay. Avante Neville. How do I acknowledge that the lead is aged without sounding awkward, defensive, or deceptive? So deceptive is a scary word. We're never deceptive. They submitted a request to one of our lead partners. They checked boxes, they put their personal information in, and they hit submit, and they're waiting for someone to reach out to you. So how do I acknowledge the lead is aged? So you're going to just say things like, this came into our office some time ago. This just got to my desk. Looks like we haven't closed this out. Have you had a chance to get this taken care of? And then based on what they say, then you're going to go down the path of answering their question, right? Oh, yeah, I already got it taken care of. Perfect. Just to update your file, we have open for you here, right? When you say you, they take ownership on it. To update your case file, we have open for you here. What carrier was that with? And they tell you one of our carriers. Perfect. Okay, what agent was that with? Just so we can update the file. It was with John. You know John. John's an FFL agent. Great. Or they whenever they say it's perfect. Okay. So they go, I got that we got that taken care of. Perfect. What happened? Where did you get the insurance so I can update your file? I end up getting to the bank. Great. Bank is accidental. Oh, I just updated. I improved our coverage with my office at my job. Perfect, right? That's not a private policy, right? These are objections. This is more for a deeper objection training. But whatever they say, you're just trying to get their answers, right? Aged leads are wonderful leads. They haven't been protected. I love aged leads, and they're also from some time ago. You'll call an aged lead sometimes, and they're like, "I've been waiting for you to call," right? Because people call them or they don't call them. And if I told you how many times people would buy leads and they just don't call them, you wouldn't believe me. And it's weird because people, once they spend a little bit of money, anxiety comes in, butterflies build up, nerves come out their fingertips, their toes curl up, and they're like, I can't do it, I quit, and they just never call the leads. Then they roll and roll and roll to aged. So just call the leads no matter what. But to answer your question without sounding awkward or defensive, you're not. This came on your desk. This is a new lead to you, right? It's a new lead. Hi, I need to take care of you. This just came to my desk. Why? You bought the lead. It came to your desk. Looks like, and you just start verifying information. Hi, I see your name's John SMIT Smith. Okay. And you called them on the phone number. I need to verify your phone number, 480-120-1212. Perfect. And it looks like you're in Des Moines, Iowa. Is that all still correct, John? Right? You're verifying the information. This is necessary. You got to make sure you've got the right person. So that's part of it. Most of the time when you're in the beginning of this sales business, you're just nervous, right? What if we just slowed down? What if we just slowed down and just talk to them and really try to validate and care and then go, perfect. Now, John, why did you send this request in immediately? And he's either going to tell you, you know, oh, well, I saw an ad on TV, or I don't want anymore. I got to take care of, or, I thought I wanted something, but I can't afford it, right? Whatever he's going to say is going to tell you how to protect him. That's what you're looking for, is that next answer. And then you're going to go, I thought I couldn't afford it. Perfect, John. Most people do think they can't afford it until they come to my desk, because I'm a broker and I'm contracted with nearly 20 different carriers. And there's always a product that I can predict. So I just need a couple questions and we can see what you may or may not be eligible for. I can't make you any guarantees, but I'm going to do my absolute best, right? So you're just talking like that with them, like you're their teammate and their partner, because they're aged. That means they haven't gotten protection yet. So hope that helps. Great question. Hannah Bell. When is a good time to start an ad campaign? Any recommendation for ad CRM dialer? Wonderful question, Hannah. And this is something I actually really wanted to talk about. And I want to talk about kind of like the lead scale, right? And this is something I cover in depth in the insurance sales guide on page. Let's go through it real quick. I actually cover this in depth, page 36. Let me see if I even did a good enough job for me to read it. Did we not put page? I didn't put page numbers on. Oh, I did put page numbers. There we go. Hannah, go get this. It'll help, right? Here's leads. But I'm gonna free flow just for ease and for Jackson. But okay, snip that out, Jackson. All right, so okay. When is a good time to start an ad campaign? Any recommendations for ads? So here's kind of the lead scale, and this is something that everyone should understand. Ideally, we hope you come here with a $500 minimum, if not $1,000, ready to invest in leads. Right? I understand that might be a big chunk of money. You don't just have an extra $1,000 to hope, Grady. I need you to be crystal clear. That $1,000 is an investment in your new business that is deductible against your taxes, right? It is a business investment. So you're not spending, it doesn't cost, it's an investment in your business. Okay, so let's understand that. That's my hope. Now, in the beginning, some people just their ignorance on fire and they're super excited and they just can't wait to keep progressing in this business. And I love all of that. But the big picture is am I committed for the growth, right? Am I registered for the conferences? Am I getting on the calls, right? So here's the scale. Many agents start off just working warm market, working family and friends. There's a great Gary Vaynerchuk video out there where he talks about, hey, this is Grady. I just started my new business in life insurance brokerage. This doesn't apply to you. I totally understand. If we haven't talked in some time, I apologize, but I just started to send this to every person that's in my contact list. I'm super excited for protecting families with life insurance. I'm licensed with 10, 15 different carriers, from whole life term, IULs, accidental, et cetera. If you'd like me to do a quick policy review with myself or one of my top senior underwriters to see if we can save you some money or get some additional coverage, I'd love the opportunity to serve you. If you're totally set on your life insurance needs, that's totally great too. I hope you're doing well. But if any of this interests you or applies, please shoot me a DM back, and I'd love to hop on a call and try to see what we can find. Doesn't cost anything to find out what prices are available out there. Boom. Record that video, send it out to your top 5, 10, 50, 500,000. I mean, I got 4,000 or 5,000 contacts in my phone. That'd be a long day, a long Sunday sending out that video. But what could that yield? That could yield a lot of potential conversations. And that's what you're looking at. That's all leads are. They're bought conversations. Okay. So on the lead scale of what we're trying to ascend to is starting with, if you don't have capital, starting with that sort of warm market approach, right? To get a couple sales under your belt, protect your Aunt Judy, your Uncle Larry, and put a couple policies where you get some money in to buy a purchase. The next phase is going and placing a one-time order with a lead vendor, ideally the Integrity Lead Center. That's a great model, the ILC. You can place a one-time order, 500 to 1,000. Boom, immediately you get the leads to their ILC. You can work them through Integrity Connect or export them to a sheet or a dialer. The next level is going to, and this is as you feel comfortable. So like what's comfort? Comfort is you've made some sales. You understand this is a business, and you're not taking the money that comes in from the sales you make and going and spending it on new clothes or trips or new TVs for your mother-in-law. You're spending it on, you're taking a portion to live because you need to, but as a majority, you're investing it back in the business and more leads, because the only way to have conversations and make sales is by buying more leads. So that's my focus, right? So that's the next level. So you're buying a batch of leads, make some sales, then reinvest a portion, and then you can put yourself on an auto order within the ILC where they're just coming in every single week. You get auto order leads and they come in on autopilot. That's what the top agents do. So the next 3 levels are what top agents are doing, because I don't want to have to think. I don't want to have a bad week and second guess wanting to buy leads the next week and thinking that I could just work them harder, when the reality is the best lead's a new lead. Okay. The best lead is a new lead because it just came in. They just submitted the request. The buying intent is at all-time high because that's why they submitted the request, because they want some answers and to facilitate the request now. So your scale 3, right? Warm market, one-off batches, then reoccurring orders, level 3. You have that reoccurring order coming in, which is great. Now you're still dialing them by hand. Maybe you've got a one-off dialer CRM that you're using. That's fine too. But the main thing is getting yourself to a position where you're on like a level 4. And level 4 is where you have those leads on a campaign, right? Ideally a Facebook campaign. You're putting yourself in a position where you have a vendor that's out there generating leads for you. And they come in, a lot of times they come into a Google Sheet to start, or they'll come into a high quality, like a high level CRM. My favorite is LeadChamp Pro. My boys over there do a phenomenal job. They've got, they're booking, I don't know, 50, it's not 50. It's like 5, 6, 7, 8,000 appointments coming in on autopilot with AI. And so that's the next goal, right? Get to a point where as you generate leads on a lead campaign with someone doing a Facebook lead vendor, that's coming into a CRM. So it's collecting it too. A lot of our top agents will when you buy $500 to $1,000 worth of leads every single week, you get a big amount of leads. You've invested a lot. And so you've got a lot that maybe are on trips, or they submitted the request when they were out of town, and they put the request in, and then the next day they got shipped off for 6 months. The stories you'll hear as you progress in this business is crazy. So level 4 is you've got a campaign going, and then those leads go into a CRM with AI. Okay, the AI is communicating, and that's a great place to be because the AI is going to auto book appointments. I've got agents that'll wake up on Monday morning using LeadChamp Pro that'll have 30 appointments already booked for the week. Now, no-show rate is high because it's virtual, but at the same time, if you lose 30 appointments and you only present to 15 that were booked by AI, that's pretty cool. And then when you're not on appointments, you're outbound dialing, trying to fill back in, or you're taking advantage of our new inbound campaigns. Both are great angles and models. So, but level 5 is when you have your own lead campaign, you have a high quality CRM, you have AI make booking appointments, and you're the ad where it's Grady. Hey, I'm Grady. I'm a broker here in the Cleveland area, in the Minneapolis area, right? If you're working with a vendor, they'll create ads of you and post you. So that way, when that lead opts in, they've already seen you. Their trust is high. So when Grady then shoots them a text with the AI, the trust is even higher and higher and higher. That's what a lot of the top guys doing 50, 75, 100,000 issue paid a month are doing. So that's kind of a long answer, but great question, because that's kind of the scale. And it comes as you're starting to invest in scale. Now, I wouldn't probably pivot to like a high quality AI CRM until you have issued 15 to 20 in a month, because you're still kind of working through the disciplines. Issuing 15 to 20 in a month means you're submitting like 5 a week, which is not a lot. I mean, it's not a lot. It's just, when you take into consideration lead costs, advance, and, chargeback rate, you're making a couple grand a week. Now we want to get you up to that 5, 6, 7 grand, 8 grand a week. So you're running this thing like a real business. Like this is, and some people might go, that's crazy. Like I don't make that much in a month, let alone in a week. I know. Welcome to life insurance sales. And I make no promises, I make no guarantees, but it's different here when you apply the effort and you see what we've created. We're not going to do a $1.2, $1.4 billion this year because we just play small. So great question. Hope that helps out, Hannah. Nicole G, what type of leads are best? Ooh, there you go. Final expense, IUL term to maximize budget in buying leads to get an ROI investment more after. Best is a skill set word, right? Have you sold before? Are you new to this business, brand new? If you're brand new, I love final expense for a new agent. Whole life is simple. Underwriting guidelines are simple. The products are simple. The underwriting guidelines are more lenient, right? I like final expense to start. The older people who are 50, 60, 70 plus, they're kind, they're nice. They're often just want someone who cares, right? And not that the younger people are conniving and tough. They're just, they're more educated. They've got access to search and look, and they want to challenge, and why this IUL versus that IUL, and why this term versus that term, and why don't I do what Dave Ramsey says? And you're just like, it's just a more of an educated sale that you can ascend to with your confidence and knowledge. We'll be able to convert those IULs and term sales. But final expense is a great, simple place to start where we'll have a great experience having conversations with people. That's where I would say, and it would maximize your ROI. Now, just the thing is though, is final expense. They tend to sit on their phones and fill out ads a lot. So they're going to get calls from additional agents as, after you've protected them. So do your absolute best to level up your persistency, to increase your, putting yourself in a position where you're really solidifying that sale. I'm a huge proponent of having staff. Insurance VA is a great partner of ours. We can have that staff do follow-up calls, have them send thank you cards, have them send brownies for $10, $15. If it's a policy over $100, I always love quoting my friend Wiley Hawkins. Any policy over $100, he sends flowers to, says, my honor taking care of you and your family, Dolores, and I'm looking forward to serving you for years to come. Wiley Hawkins. And every time I share that every chance I get, because I'm so grateful for him sharing that with me. A lot of the top agents, Derek Robinson, he sends Loom videos, just recapping everything, 30, 60-second Loom video that puts, the breaks down the policy, and anything they can see his face as he's redescribing everything, that 30, 60 seconds, right? So when Dolores gets calls from other agents next week and in 2 months and in 6 months, they can go back and go, wow, thank you card, flowers, Loom video, just extra steps put in. Guys, half this business is the sale, and the other half is keeping the sale. And that's as important. It is not just becoming this cunning charlatan, sales aficionado. It is becoming a shrewd business person that understands that my client is my competition's best prospect. I'm going to say that one more time. My client is my competition's best prospect. They're already a buyer. So what can I do to solidify that and make sure that they don't talk to anybody else? Go above and beyond in my quality control. Go above and beyond in my care. That separates the agents that have 70% persistency and are losing 30% of their sales, and my agents that have 95% of their persistency and only 5% falls off because maybe budgeting issues and they need to make an adjustment and they just lower the premium because they care more. So I hope that helps. Great question, Nicole G. But the best lead's the one that you can get started with and then ascend up, and then obviously you take care of. Matt. Oh, we'll do one more. We'll do an outfit change. All right, one more outfit change, then I'll answer back. So here we go. Tom's gonna keep me honest. What should I go, green or red? What am I going to? All right, we do one more. Here we go. This is fun. I'll go green. It was here. See, I've been working out a little bit, huh? It's for the gram. Jade's like, this is an HR violation right now. All right, here we go. All right. Matt H says, let me get a sip of water and we'll run into it. We're doing this for you, Lonnie and Jackson, when they watch this. All right, here we go. At what point do you decide that a new agent has reached a point of sink or swim? Matt, in reality, I don't make that decision. I don't want to make that decision. I want nothing to do with that new agent's decisions on this business. I want to be a good inspiration to that agent's decisions in this business. The number one thing I can control is my attitude and activity. And that's what I control. Does my attitude get down? Do I get frustrated? Do I have hard days? Do I have frustrating, challenging experiences? Do I have stuff that I got to deal with in my business, in my personal life? I got 4 kids and a wife and a neighborhood to take care of, right? I got stuff, but I can control my attitude, right? God wouldn't give this to me. I'm not a big, God guy, but like the big guy upstairs wouldn't give this to me if he didn't think I could handle it, right? So I got my attitude and I got my activity, what I do each day. I'm up early, I'm positive, I'm growing my brain, I'm trying to support people that need support, and then I'm progressing my business through sales or recruiting, right? So I control my attitude and activity. I want nothing to do but inspire my agents that I've been blessed to have an interaction with to make the same decision, to choose to get better and choose to take the problems face on and get better with them. I don't need to do that by communicating with them constantly. I need to show that through group text, through calls, through Slack, through interactions, through emails that I'm working. And that in turn shows that new agent the best thing that they should be doing is working. Now, as I interact with agents, I'm not their daddy, but But it's also my job when I recruit an agent, Matt, to help them make money, right? I'm not going to call you and ask, did you eat your vegetables? Did you take your vitamins today? Did you do your 20 push-ups before you got in the shower? Like, I'm not here to be your parent. I'm here to be your partner, right? So what that means, though, when I recruit agents, Matt, is I go, I'm here to make you money. That's my only job. And how do I do that? When you're not making money, you have to call me with the problems you're having, and I will help you fix them. That's what I did with Andrew. That's what I did with Sean. That's what I did with Zach Tredowski. I'm going through this problem. How would you fix it? I don't go, I got this problem. This business sucks. I don't like this. Complain. And I go, hey, this is a problem. You've clearly solved it or fixed it. What could I do to solve this? And that's me. I'm trying to get better. Some people don't live in that world. So what I can do is I can choose to get better and be an advisor to others who want to get better. But I'm not going to chase them around. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go find new people. I'm going to go find more people. Dude, I used to try to save them all. I used to try to coach them all. I used to send everybody everything. And you know what ends up happening? I'm putting more effort and faith and more passion and more everything I possibly can into trying to help this person who doesn't want to help themselves. I got a wife and 4 kids to take care of. I got Jade and Natasha to take care of. They take care of me most of the time. But what I'm saying though is I'm trying to take care of those that want to be taken care of. So at what point do you decide the new agent has reached a point of sink or swim? That's for them to figure out. And if you're spending too much mental bandwidth with recruits, then you're not focusing on selling. The number one override is on your own pen. I wouldn't worry about new agents if you're not selling yet 5-10 grand a week. I wouldn't. I would be focused on making money. Otherwise, you will be out of this business. So hope that helps, bro. Brody, best way to practice. What are the free throws and practice shots of this industry role play call review? That's a great question. I love live dials. I get on live dials. I listen to people selling. From an osmosis standpoint, the next best way to practice and role play is with leads. The best way to practice. And you got to understand though, you're not in the beginning, you're not going to sell them all, but there's 2 ways we learn. We learn through repetition or emotional impact. Repetition is doing that thing over and over and over again. Emotional impact is having interaction and having a stressful interaction that you go, this didn't work out well. I'm going to learn from this and I want to pull myself out of this and I never want to experience that again. So you do something different whenever that interaction comes forever, right? Touch the hot stove, don't touch hot stoves. Interactions, right? So the best way to learn is actually dialing. But call reviews are great. Listening to live dials is great. My boy, Christo Bolger, I always love giving him some love. He always talked about getting new agents to hear at least 10 full presentations before they start dialing. That's a great thing to do while you're putting yourself in a position of waiting for contracts to come in. Be on live dials. If this is your business, are you putting in minimum 40, 50, 60 hours a week getting better? And that's learning through osmosis, right? Growing your knowledge and then applying your skills. So that's what I would focus on, dude. Listen to live dials, listen to other presentations, but then get out there and just hit the phone. The easy way, the easy way is not worth it, but it's I just screwed up the quote. The easy way is not worth it, and what's hard is not the easy. I screwed it up. So flip that out, Jackson. But you got to put in the time. That's what I'm trying to get to. So, Adeline Bell, ink sources or Spanish leads. I hit up Digna or Luis Cabrera. They crush it. Let's see what's next. We'll do a couple more and then get out of here. How do you build a brand around service and trust without becoming another agent chasing attention? It's a deep question. Avante Neville, how do you build a brand around service and trust without becoming another agent chasing attention? I think it all comes down to whom you are. Be true to yourself, right? I don't think, chasing attention is in 2026 is marketing. Right? The marketing currency in today's economic business climate is in social media, right? So someone that's got 100 followers or 1,000 followers or 100,000 followers or 1 million followers is someone that has created enough of an ecosystem to get people to want to follow and see, what is this news show? What is this TV show about? And is there someone that I want to work with? Chasing attention means that, you're trying to do it for, you're creating prank videos and you're creating, husband, wife, marriage content. Stuff that just is just trying to get views. in our world, in life insurance sales, we're trying to either create a world of clients where people want to trust us and follow us. IUL expert Elizabeth Jimenez has got a great IUL where she talks about IULs constantly. Or you're trying to recruit agents where you're talking about what's possible in the life insurance industry. I think as long as you're true to yourself, you're putting yourself in a position where you're creating content or creating a world where you're proud of. That's the things. If you're proud of it and you like what you share and you're educating people with inspiration, motivation, or education, right? Those are the two things. Those are the three pillars of like content creation. Inspiration, sharing something positive that would help other people push through tough. Motivation, some taps and tactics and tips in order to get through those tough times. And education. Education is teaching people, right? Teaching them about term and whole life, teaching them about IULs versus 401ks, teaching about FIAs versus variable products, right? Be an educator. That's a very valuable thing. So I think that, and the way to build a brand around that is just being the person that is looked at as an expert. How do you become an expert? A lot of experience, a lot of dials, a lot of interactions, and then sharing what works for you. Keep going. And how do you overcome the spouse? I've lost 3 deals in the past couple of weeks because the spouses have shut them down. Get them on the phone talk to them. Majority of top producers won't pitch a single house, pitch a single person. You have to have a conversation with both, right? John, does your wife need to be a part of this conversation in order to move forward? Yes or no? Now, John, are you being serious? Are you sure? Like, does your wife need to be a part of this? Because I want to respect her, right? Because if the wife can shut it down, clearly it's a high level of respect, high level of trust. You don't want to just push through, and try to put it in, and then all of a sudden the wife wants to cancel it down. You need to have a conversation with both and put the pain in both of their pockets. Now, Mary, what would happen if, God forbid, John died yesterday? What would you be doing today? And wait. Because if you don't get her to talk about it, if you don't get her to understand that death is real, she will not be on board. So it's I don't want to say acting or like play or pretending, but you have to push the pain. Otherwise, you're going to lose the sale, right? If you've lost 3 sales, it's because you're in that position where you haven't said to them, you haven't brought her into the pain, right? He's buying because he doesn't want to leave her pain. She doesn't want to think about him dying, right? That's the worst thought in her life. Her husband, I mean, if you're dealing in a final expense market of 5, 10, 20, 50 years, that's the worst thought in her whole world. It's her partner. It's her best friend. She doesn't want to think about it. But she's also going to shoot it down if she doesn't, she hasn't had the educational conversation that you just had with John. She's just going, oh, I bought this thing for $180. It's going to be great for you. We don't need that right now. You're not going anywhere. I take you to the doctor 7 times a week. You're just fine. You're going to live forever, right? She's got this fake, fictitious, rose-colored glasses philosophy on her spouse is never going to die, which is wonderful, right? My wife's never going to die either. But God forbid she died. I'm not even going to say it. God forbid something happens. I would give back the life insurance times 1 billion to keep my wife, but I don't get to decide that. And she doesn't either. And that's a sad place to be. But at the same time, you've got to bring them in the sales conversation. Otherwise, you're just selling him and she's shooting down a new expense. Hope that makes sense. So I'll close with this, guys. This is one final question. And we'll wrap it up with this. But thank you all for joining. And when do I get to let up? When do I get to not let up, right? And I love this quote from an old mentor. He said, Grady, refuse reward till the job's been done. And for many of us getting started, you might have a big first week. Maybe you don't. Maybe a big third week. Maybe a big 5th month. But I don't know what the job been done for you is. Is that you get to move into the new home? Is that you buy the new car? Is that when you get to retire your mom or your spouse or your parents or take the kids to Disneyland or go to whatever that is? Is it an experience? Is it an item? Is it paying off your student loans? Is it paying off your debts? But the worst thing you can do in this business is lose momentum. And when you finally have a good day and a good week and a good month inside of your first year, and you think at that point you've deserved to take a week or 2 or 3 off, you're wrong. This is a compound effect based business. And if you can discipline yourself to put in 12, 18, 24 months of consistent effort. I'm not saying don't take a 2-day staycation. Don't take 5-day trip, to take your kids on a trip to see the relatives. Those things are necessary. But the agents that consistently put in 10K a week are the agents that truly create financial freedom and the ones that build the biggest businesses because they've disciplined themselves and they only tolerate and allow people who discipline themselves in their business. And they're inspirations to them. And so I'll close it out with again, refuse reward till the job has been done. Push yourself harder than you ever have because this is your business. This is your final chance to own the thing that you've always wanted that will secure your family the way you've always dreamed. So don't take it lightly. Don't take it for granted and push. That's the number one thing I text anybody when they reach out to me. Grady this, Grady that. Great job, great job. Keep pushing. Great job. Keep pushing. I might say that 5-10 times a day to different people throughout my business world. But the philosophy is keep pushing. Why? Because everyone else gives up. Everyone else quits, but not you. Keep pushing. Thank you for the time today. Thank you for joining us on this unique, different approach to the call. I hope you enjoyed it. I truly did. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the interaction. And grateful to the team for putting this all together. And and we got a moment of Zen. So we're rolling with a beautiful moment of Zen, which I'm super excited about. So guys, thank you. We will see you live next week. Talk soon. Bye for now. Here's your moment of Zen.
Mind working hard on my job, but things didn't seem to change that much. Then I started working hard on myself to qualify. So let me put it in a philosophical phrase now. This is worth the price of whatever it costs for you to be here today. Here it is. Success is something you attract. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by becoming attractive. Here's what we teach in leadership. To attract attractive people, you must be attractive. And the whole scope of this we call now personal development. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. If you can multiply your value by 3, by 5, you can easily multiply your income by 3, by 5, by 10. But the key to doing it is to work hard on your